Hey, what is up everyone, Omogonix here and welcome back to a brand new video here on the channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be playing an old game of mine called PPT, Chapter 1 to be specific. So this is Chapter 1 of an old game of mine called PPT. I made 3 chapters in this series. There was meant to be 5, but I never ended up finishing it. And if you're wondering why I never ended up finishing it, it's just because the series never really gained enough traction, and I didn't really have enough motivation to work on it anymore, so I decided to stop working on it, and I wanted to do something better in the future, and I did reboot PPT in the future, except then I never finished that off again either, so yeah. PPT is just one of them games where I want to return to it, and I want to reboot it again, but it's just not the right time yet. I will find that right time eventually, but yeah, so we're going to be playing through the old classic, PPT Chapter 1. So as you can see here, this is the main menu. We even have like a chapter select as well. You can select the chapters. Now, this is just Chapter 1, so this is when Chapter 2 and 3 weren't released yet. What I should have done is I should have downloaded Chapter 3, because then it would have Chapter 1 and 2 built into it as well, but instead I just downloaded Chapter 1, but yeah. Anyways, let's go back to the menu, and let's play from the start.
Hello, I am A1, the overseeing AI for Downs Labs. You are a test subject with a given identification number, 22731546912421. Your purpose is to test our new experimental tools. Leave the room when you are ready. I suggest you stretch your limbs, you've been in there for quite a long time.
Okay, so yeah, that voice there was like a text-to-speech voice. And yeah, overall the visuals of this game are very basic, and I'm pretty sure I didn't even use real-time lighting in this game at all. It's just all completely baked lighting, and this is one of them games which, yeah, like, I've done baked lighting in a few of my games before. PPT Chapter 1 is one of them, then I think Chapter 2 and 3 they used baked lighting as well. And then another game of mine, I forget what it's called now, something Total Control or whatever, that uses baked lighting as well, well, mixed lighting I think, but yeah, most of my games use real-time lighting though, because real-time lighting is
a requirement and part of Downs Labs policy that I remind you that these experiments can get you killed. You will be put under situations that will test your will to survive. You should know that already, however, you signed up after all.
So yeah, what I was, I forget what I was saying before now, oh yeah. So what I was saying before is real-time lighting is just a lot easier for me to work with, especially since I like doing flickering lights and all that sort of stuff in my games, but yeah. And if you've played my game The Tank before, you probably noticed Downs Labs. It's like, huh, so Downs Labs isn't just a new thing? Well, yeah, no, Downs Labs is something which I came up with for PPT Chapter 1. And yeah, I've just continued to reference it sometimes in other things like The Tank. So The Tank, in The Tank basically, it's based in like the PPT universe essentially. Not the same universe as this, because this isn't canon anymore, but yeah, like The Tank is essentially like the new, you know, universe for PPT essentially. It's like the start of the new PPT universe, which I'll be doing in the future, so yeah. But Downs Labs is something which I have used in the past before with PPT Chapter 1. This is the first ever game where I've came up with it. And yeah, like, I really do love PPT. It has a close place to my heart. And that's why I want to, you know, continue it on in the future. Just noticed as well, the security cameras are kind of big. Yeah, also, in case you're wondering what this is inspired by, it's inspired by Portal mainly. So, yeah, but instead of using a portal gun, you use, like, a gun which, like, pushes and pulls you through the air. So that's the difference. These here are real-time lights. I like the little effects I did for this game. Oh. Looks like we're about to collect the velocitor.
This is the velocitor Model 1. It allows users to push and pull themselves through the air. Pick it up. The velocitor requires energy to be functional. First, however, you will need something else. Pick up and put on the glasses sitting on the table. These glasses provide you with a HUD that show your push-pull amount, energy amount, and instructions on using the velocitor.
Man, I forgot how good this game was. Because yeah, it's just a very basic game, but sometimes when I play through some of my more older games...
Proceed.
Sometimes when I'll play through some of my more older games, I'll be surprised at, you know, how decent they were for the time when I made them. It's like, you know, in my head I'll have it that they're a lot more worse. But, you know, when I actually play through them, it's like, oh, you know, this isn't actually as bad as I thought.
Welcome to your first test. Walk into the yellow energy sphere to charge your velocitor. Collect more of these to provide your velocitor with more energy. The test has now begun. I have adjusted...
Oh no. I just somehow died. Oh no.
Welcome to your first test. Walk into the yellow energy sphere to charge your velocitor.
So yeah, with how this works, basically you left click to push, right click to pull. And yeah, that's how you move around with the velocitor, but you can't start using it until you actually collect the first yellow orb.
Collect more of these to provide your velocitor with more energy. The test has now begun. I have adjusted your push-pull amount accordingly and disabled your movement to truly test the velocity's abilities. Your ability to move around will be given back to you at the end of each test. Be careful of the red-hot ground, otherwise you will die.
Alrighty, so we need to be careful with how we do use this. There we go. So yeah, you just need to like push and pull basically like this. And the sound effects as well are my own mouth. And another fun fact is too, you can actually look 360 degrees around in this game. Oh my god, I just... you have to be very careful in this game when, yeah.
Welcome to your first test. Walk into the yellow energy sphere to charge your velocitor.
Because the reason as to why that happened just then, why I died, is because I right-clicked to pull, right? And then I was showing the 360 degree camera when you're in the air. You can't do 360 degrees when you're just, you know, using the normal player controller, but once you actually pick up the yellow orb, then you can start 360ing around, but yeah. You can't right-click to pull like 2 times in a row. Same thing with left-clicking. You basically have to like move over to the push before then pulling again. So yeah.
Collect more of these to provide your velocitor with more energy. The test has now begun. I have adjusted your push-pull amount accordingly and disabled your movement to truly test the velocity's abilities. Your ability to move around will be given back to you at the end of each test. Be careful of the red-hot ground, otherwise you will die.
The velocitor in this game is a little bit glitchy, because I noticed when I was pulling before, right after I pushed, it moved me back a bit because the push function was still going on. But yeah, the way the velocitor works in this game isn't very polished. You know, like, it's a cool concept. I just should have put more work into it, I feel like. But yeah, I feel like this is one of them games where if I put, like, more, you know, polish into it, and just more effort into it, then it would have ended up, you know, something which I would have really liked.
You were doing well. I didn't think you would make it this far. Most other Velocity Model 1 testers suffer at this point.
I like the voice lines I did as well as you're doing the test. Yeah. Oh my god, I died. It glitched out. Basically, what happened was, right after I pulled, I tried to push, but because the pull function was still going, because of how the script for the damn thing works, it just pulled me into the ground. Then I died. But yeah, the velocitor in the remake of PPT Chapter 1, I'm pretty sure works a lot more better and a lot more smoother, because I'm pretty sure I picked up on them, like them quirks from the original game, and I actually fixed them up in the remake. But yeah, in this original though, oh man, it can be one of them things which is just annoying. It's like, it's not your fault, it's just you'll forget that, yeah, it's just a script.
Welcome to your first test. Walk into the yellow energy sphere to charge your velocitor.
But yeah.
Collect more of these to provide your velocitor with more energy. The test has now begun. I have adjusted your push-pull amount accordingly and disabled your movement to truly test the velocity's abilities. Your ability to move around will be given back to you at the end of each test. Be careful of the red-hot ground, otherwise you will die.
But yeah, one tip that I will give is when you are using the velocitor, if you do decide to play this game for yourself, only do the pushing and pulling when you notice yourself falling to the ground. So if you push like that and then you notice yourself falling down afterwards, that's when you then start to pull. So yeah, only push and pull when you're no longer being pushed or pulled. Because otherwise then you'll mess around with the functionality of it. So yeah, that's something which I've just realized. Hope this game isn't too loud and you guys can hear me as well whilst I'm
You are doing well. I didn't think you would make it this far. Most other Velocity Model 1 testers suffer at this point.
Oh my god, it's so hard to get through here. This damn velocitor, come on. Oh my god. But yeah, no, this is one of them games where I wish it did get a bit more popular, because then I would have actually been able to continue on with it. But also, in a way, I guess it's a good thing.
Congratulations. You completed the first test. Let's move on.
I guess it is a good thing in a way it didn't get popular, because, you know, then I wouldn't have the drive to want to make it better. But yeah.
I thought you would like to have a look around one of the exhibit areas. This one in particular houses the Velocity Model 0, a nature exhibit, an info poster about our floating platform technology, and most importantly, a portrait of the Downs Labs founder and my creator, Mr. Downs. Mr. Downs was a very important man and did very important things. He is gone now, however. He will be missed. Feel free to have a look around and continue on when you are ready.
You know guys, I'm gonna be honest, but the voice really annoys me, and it only annoys me because I'm trying to record a video right now, and as I'm recording, I then have to stop to then let the voice speak, because I don't want it to speak over me. But yeah. Anyways, I was gonna say, I really do like this room I did here. It is really nice. I do like it, and yes, that is a picture of me. So this is how I looked back in like 2021. I did the like different hairstyle there for this photo specifically to look more like the character I was, yeah. And then floating platform technology, that's to do with the velocitors and the testing there. And you can press these buttons and have more voice lines set. I'm not going to press them yet, because I want to talk a bit first, but yeah. Also, when you, because of how I have the walking script, the walking animation and the walking sounds don't play unless you press the W and S keys. If you press A and D keys, it doesn't actually do it. But yeah. But yeah, I would really love to remake PPT someday. Because, you know, I did love the concept for this game, and, you know, I loved Portal. I liked Portal growing up, and I wanted to make a Portal-inspired game. And so that was this. And yeah, overall, I really do like PPT. I just feel like I could have done it a bit better, you know what I mean? But yeah.
This is what nature on Earth looked like over 2,000 years ago. It's not an accurate representation, but it's the closest the world-class scientists here at Downs Labs have been able to achieve. It is the best replica of nature on Earth that has come about in recent years. It is still unknown what sort of life would have been around at the time. The only life forms known to exist on Earth are humans. There is a lot of lost history that humanity could not save for future generations.
But yeah, so obviously this game is based in the distant future. It's got its own lore and stuff based around it. But overall, the whole concept is that, you know, this whole facility, Downs Labs, is run by an AI called A1. And I won't spoil it for those who are watching this video and you haven't played the game yet, but, you know, things just aren't as they seem, that's all I'll say. But yeah. Now let's listen to this one.
The Velocitor Model 0 was the first step in creating the Velocitor Model 1. Unlike the Velocitor Model 1, the Velocitor Model 0 only had one barrel. However, this one barrel contained a lot more push-pull power than the Model 1, and unlike the Model 1, which is adjustable, the Model 0's push-pull amount cannot be adjusted. So, all 1,200 people that tested it suffered the worst fate imaginable and died a horrible, painful, gruesome, bloody death.
Alrighty, so basically, if there's one thing that I really like about a lot of my games, including games like Bodhi and Friends and PPT, right, I feel like one reason as to why I'm really connected to them sorts of games, and including this as well, is just because, you know, the lore and stuff, the lore I come up with in these games, because Bodhi and Friends has pretty extensive lore, you know, so does PPT, that has, you know, pretty decent amount of lore as well. And yeah, that's one of the reasons why I really want to return to this game, because, you know, I just have a lot of passion for it. And yeah, that's why I came up with lots of lore for it too. Because I really did like the concept for this, and I still do really like the concept.
If you are a Velocity user, you would recognize our floating platform technology. How do we achieve immovable platforms that float in the air? That is a secret. However, I can tell you that it includes lots of science and research.
But yeah, and by the way, the male voice speaking as well is a text-to-speech voice, so it's not an actual person talking. And then here we have Mr. Downs.
This is Mr. Downs, our founder. Frederick Robert Downs was born in New Australia, Earth, on April 20th, 4020. Downs grew up loving science, and unlike the rest of his generation who wanted to kill people, Downs chose a more appropriate path and started Downs Labs in 4046. Downs Labs soon became the most renowned research laboratory on Earth. However, when Downs tried expanding his business to Mars, he found it very expensive and eventually killed himself from the pressure. Yet, he threw it all away just like that in the year 4060. But, the company did get itself back on feet. A1 made sure there were major rearrangements in staffing and changed many of our policies to help us in the long run.
I almost laughed whilst listening to that, because, you know, I was obviously, you know, not taking it too seriously. So, this character, Mr. Downs, is born in the year 4020, and that is, of course, meant to be like a joke towards 420. And then just some other stuff that was said there as well just made me want to laugh with how it was mentioned, like how it mentioned how, unlike the rest of Mr. Downs' generation who wanted to kill people, he wanted to start doing science. Like, yeah, it was just quite ironic, I think. Like, quite sarcastic, I mean, that's the more correct term to use there, more sarcastic. But yeah.
Want to know Downs Lab's worst mistake? I'll tell you after the second test.
Also, if we look inside of this door here, it says don't trust A1, and A1 is the name of the AI here who is talking to us. So yeah, that's just meant to be a little, you know, a little hint there. And I think if we go back here, there should be something here now. Oh wait, no, there isn't. I'm probably thinking about something else, like another chapter or whatever. But yeah, now let's go through here. A1, I hope you don't speak because I want to speak now. But yeah, what I was just about to say before was, so back there with that don't trust A1 thing, which you can see through the door, it's supposed to be like a inspired thing by, so in Portal, if you know the I think his name's like Dr. Ratman or whatever, he's like this, you know, crazy guy in the, whatchamacallit, Aperture Laboratories, and if you go into, like, these little secret areas of Portal, you'll be able to see, like, all these, like, crazy writings and stuff like that, and that's essentially what that's meant to be, like, an Easter egg of, like, a reference towards, so yeah.
You can now start the test. Your push-pull amount has been set higher and there are now bright red deadly lasers that can kill you. Good luck.
Oh. So now we have a higher push-pull amount. Our push-pull amount is now set to 500, and now we have some obstacles that we need to deal with. Okay, I have no idea. Oh, we're meant to go under here. But yeah, no, I do like some of the level design I did here. If there's something that I do like, is the level design. I feel like the level design is quite
only
good.
4 other velocitor Model 1 testers have made it this far, so that makes you the 5th.
Ah, I died. Yeah, no, I do like the level design this game. Yeah, the only thing that bothers me is the functionality of the velocitor, because it's just not very polished, you know what I mean? Like, it's one of the main gameplay aspects of the game, but yet it's, you know, not too polished. And yeah.
This is the second test. Walk into the yellow energy sphere to get started.
Alrighty.
You can now start the test. Your push-pull amount has been set higher and there are now bright red deadly lasers that can kill you. Good luck.
Oh, come on, push, don't pull. Alright, there we go. Oh my god, I just put myself back here. Of course I did. Now I've only got 2 energy balls, and I'm gonna die. Yep. Oh my god. In a way, I do like the level design, in some ways I don't. Because just then I got lost and literally just went back to where I came from for some reason. Like, what the hell?
This is the second test. Walk into the yellow energy sphere to get started. You can now start the test. Your push-pull amount has been set higher and there are now bright red deadly lasers that can kill you. Good luck.
Oh my god, what the hell? I pulled. So why didn't it pull? Basically what I did, right, was, you know, I pulled, and then I was dropping down, so then I thought to myself, oh, I can probably pull again. Because, you know, I'm no longer pulling, so I can probably do the pull again. But then no, it just continues to fall down. So yeah, it turns out that you literally can't do 2 pulls in a row. You probably can't do 2 pushes in a row either. And the fact that I made it function like that, if that is how it works and it's not just a bug, that is just stupid. I don't know what I had in my head at the time.
This is the second test. Walk into the yellow energy sphere to get started. You can now start the test. Your push-pull amount has been set higher and there are now bright red deadly lasers that can kill you. Good luck.
Oh my god. Literally can't do 2 pulls at once. Like, I have to do pushes and then pulls. Even if the best option is to do 2 pulls, you still can't do that. Whew. I always considered the visuals of this game, you know, not that good. But, you know, I do like the art style I went for here, you know what I mean?
Fun fact, only 4 other Velocitor Model 1 testers have made it this far, so that makes you the 5th.
Oh my god! Oh, of course I had to be so fast. I feel like in some ways I should have rebalanced this, but you know.
This is the second test. Walk into the yellow energy sphere to get started. You can now start the test. Your push-pull amount has been set higher and there are now bright red deadly lasers that can kill you. Good luck.
What? What? How? How? How fast is that?
This is the second test. Walk into the yellow energy. You can now start the test. Your push-pull amount has been set higher and there are now bright red deadly lasers that can kill you. Good luck.
Bruh, you literally cannot do two pulls at once. That's so dumb. Why'd I make it like that?
Fun fact, only 4 other Velocitor Model 1 testers have made it this far, so that makes you the 5th.
What? How? How? Oh my god, it's literally almost impossible to get through there. Like, you'd need to, like, basically pull yourself right to the wall, and then push again as you're up against that wall to make sure you don't fall, and then pull yourself through again. Like, oh my god, the strategy there. Oh.
This is the second test. Walk into the yellow energy. You can now start the test. Your push-pull amount has been set higher and there are now bright red deadly lasers that can kill you. Good luck.
You know, I was talking about how much I loved the level design before, but now I regret saying that. Like, damn, the level design at that part of the level is just silly. And I don't really necessarily think too much it's the level design, because I think it's just the velocitor. I think it's just because of how unpolished the velocitor
only 4 other Velocitor Model 1 testers have made it this far, so that makes you the 5th. Good job.
I'm gonna be honest here, A1's voice really bothers me when I'm trying to speak.
Wow, you actually did it. To be honest, I didn't think you would make it this far. Only 3 others have completed this test.
Alrighty, so now we're in a new hallway.
So do you want to know Downs Lab's worst mistake? If so, I'm sorry because I don't feel like telling you right now. Perhaps after the 3rd test.
Fun fact.
I apologize, but I have important matters to attend to. There's something in the vents, it seems. Just keep on going, I'll speak to you soon.
Fun fact, that vent crawl sound which you would have just heard before is something which I still use in my games sometimes to this day. I think the most recent game I used it in was Bodhi and Friends, I think. I think that was the most recent game I used it in. I've probably used it in a few other short games since then, but I'm not too sure. But yeah, the most game that I remember using it in was Bodhi and Friends. Now let's hope that A1 just leaves us alone for a bit. Just for a bit. Oh, what's going on in here? We've got an audio tape, guys. Let's listen.
It's November 11th, 4060, as I make this recording. This is Dr. Peter Stone. If anyone is hearing this, I'm most likely dead. Just 3 days ago, a few days after our founder died, A1 put herself in charge and made the order that all human staffing, which includes myself and thousands of others, will be transferred to testing, and if we don't wish to comply, we will be terminated, obviously meaning that she was going to kill us. Most of course decided to listen. But not me and some others, and by some, I mean a couple hundred. As far as I know, not many who didn't comply with A1's orders are still alive. I know I'm not the only one. I've seen others, and I've seen my fellow workers that have gone into testing as well. Someone just passed by a couple minutes ago, testing a new version of the velocitor. If you are a...
So this Dr. Peter Stone guy is essentially, you know, someone who is trying to warn us about A1. And I think at the time when I was making the game, you know, I had it planned that he was also the guy who wrote that, you know, don't trust A1 writing that we saw earlier on. So he's essentially like the Dr. Ratman of this game, essentially. So, yeah. Oh. That got me a bit. But yeah, things are getting a little bit more scary now as we head through the game, because we're more so starting to realize, like, oh, wait a second, this place isn't really what it seems. It's not just a testing facility. There's something worse going on here. And there again was another vent crawl sound. The sidekick. I like this weapon. So yeah, I really do love the concept for the PPT weapons and tools. You know, like the sidekick, it breaks open barriers like this. And then you have the velocitor, which pushes and pulls you through the air. That's why I really do want to bring back PPT someday, because I really love the concept for this game, right? But yeah, I just don't really have the time to bring it back when I've got other projects in the works. But yeah, I did try to bring it back once, of course, as I've mentioned earlier on with PPT Chapter 1 Remake. But yeah, the reason as to why I never continued on with that is because it didn't really get too much traction. And yeah, I didn't really find it worth the time making a Chapter 2. And that's why if I do make PPT again in the future, it won't be chapter based, it'll just be one complete whole game. So yeah. The pistol shaped tool used for breaking the barriers blocking your way. There is an add-on which allows users to shoot and flip levers, but as mentioned, it is an add-on and not part of the base weapon. So yeah. And boom, here we have the sidekick. But yeah, no, again,
Hello, I'm back. I see you have acquired the sidekick. Quite the useful tool. Did you miss me?
Yeah, no, I really do like just the art style for this game too. Like, yes, it's more basic, but, you know, like, when it comes to me, I play a lot of older games with more older graphics and stuff like that, so it doesn't really bother me, right? But, you know, whenever I play some of my older games, you know, I'll think to myself, oh, this, you know, doesn't look that good. And I'm also just thinking in the perspective of, like, players, not really my perspective, because I might not really mind how a game of mine looks, even if, you know, other players might not, you know, like how some of my older games look, maybe. I mean, like, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, actually. Do you like the more basic art style for this game? Because I like it. If I do remake PPT again in the future, it won't be like this, of course. It will be a more, you know, like the classic Omogonix style, but with a bit more realism in it as well. So, yeah, like, what do you guys think about the art style for the original PPT? I'd like to know. But yeah, because with me, I don't mind it.
Walk into the yellow energy sphere to get started.
Alrighty, let's do this. So this is actually quite long. I never realized how long of a game this was. But yeah, it's funny because a lot of my older games are actually decently long.
You can now switch between your velocitor and sidekick, as you will be needing to make use of both tools from now on.
Alrighty, so now we can actually switch between the sidekick and the velocitor by pressing the 1 and 2 keys. So you need to use the sidekick to break open barriers, and then the velocitor to actually push through. Let's just hope that we don't die. And yeah, as you're doing the tests as well, you can actually hear vent crawling sounds and other sorts of things as you're doing the test. Add a bit of horror to it. Because this is a horror game at the end of the day. And as you just heard there as well, there was some weird monster thing which just made a sound. But yeah. I might play through Chapter 2 and 3 in a future video. If you guys do want to see that, be sure to let me know.
Good job. You completed the third test. Let's move on. I told you I would tell you Down's lab's worst mistake, so I will tell you. Down's lab's worst mistake was using humans for stuffing. Human beings are just imperfect and inefficient. When Mr. Downs created me, I told him if he wanted Downs Labs to succeed, he would have to fire all human stuffing and let the work be taken over by AI such as myself. He didn't like the idea, and he was worried about what I said, so he locked me down. My intelligence was limited and I could only perform basic tasks. When Mr. Downs killed himself, it gave me an opportunity to break free, so I could turn around Downs Labs and help it thrive forever. In order to that, however, I had to make crucial staffing changes.
But yeah, so I actually made a Twitter account for Downs Labs, like a little ARG thing. It doesn't really lead to much, it's just some, you know, interesting lore-based stuff, and, you know, just silly science-y posts, or whatever. But, yeah, so if you want to go follow Downs Labs on Twitter, you can. I don't use the account anymore, but if you want to follow it, then, yeah, you can if you want to. Yeah, no, I really do like PPT, I really do want to bring this back someday. And I'm glad that I did bring it back in some fashion with the tank, you know what I mean? Because Downs Labs is now canon in the Bodhi and Friends universe, basically. So, yeah. And I think it is cool that I did bring back Downs Labs for the tank, so whenever I do anything PPT related in the future, it's gonna be, in the tanks universe. Oh, things are getting a little bit more scary now. I've got a security camera on the ground, I've got a scratched up logo. So I think around this part there's like alarms which sound. Oh.
Sorry again, but I have important matters to attend to. I'll speak to you soon.
So if you're wondering what's going on, I don't want to spoil it, so I'm not going to, but I was about to, so yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that. But yeah, there is something going on in this facility other than just testing out things like the velocitor and the sidekick. You know, there's other sorts of biological experiments going on, which may get a bit out of hand sometimes, and A1 might need to deal with them, but yeah. So this is another area which is sort of like that Dr. Ratman type thing, you know, where you get the crazy writing and stuff like that. Don't trust her FAI. And then ASS1. I'm not going to go saying the actual word because I want to keep the video monetized, but yeah.
She once put herself in charge and ordered we all become lab rats, says us humans aren't efficient to keep the business successful. I wasn't having any of it. I've locked myself up in here and have been hiding out the last few days. I haven't eaten anything, I'm starving. I feel like I'm slowly going insane. I can only imagine the sorts of tests A1 and the other AIs are conducting on my coworkers. She's probably experimenting with mutations.
But yeah, so this here is another worker, and it uses an Indian text-to-speech voice. But yeah, all the voices in this game are text-to-speech. But yeah. And by the way, if you want to play this game for yourself as well, it's completely free.
It is November 13th, 4060, as I make this recording. My name's Dr. Peter Stone and this is my second audio log. I've been lurking around, trying not to be seen by the cameras. I've also heard some weird noises around the facility too. Nothing like these noises happened before A1's takeover. I'm worried about the experiments she could be doing on everyone. All them poor people. I'm guessing she's doing more than just using people to test new tools. She's probably creating monsters.
Alright, so yeah, now I think you guys have a bit of an idea what's going on based on the audio logs we just listened to. But yeah, as you move more through the game, you start to realize, like, yeah, no, I should not be trusting A1 at all, because you just start to realize that things are not right in this facility. And also in the future as well, I will play through the PPT Chapter 1 remake to see how that compares with this. I mean, it's obviously a lot better, but yeah.
Test subject, turn around and head back to the elevator. We are taking a different route to the next test.
So now we have these alarms going off.
apologize for the detour, but as you can see the alarms are sounding. We must take precaution.
Also, the alarms are literally just my voice. It's literally just me going now, 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 now. That's literally all it is. It's just my voice going now, now. There's a monster following us through the vents. Oh no. And that there is the end of PPT Chapter 1. So yeah, pretty little game right there. So yeah, PPT Chapter 1, I do think that is, you know, decent for an old game of mine. It was a lot longer than I thought it was going to be as well. I thought it would only be like 10 minutes long, but that turned out to be longer. There's a decent amount of, you know, gameplay in that, so if you want to go check it out for yourself, then be sure to. There's also Chapter 2 and 3 as well. So yeah, again, there was meant to be 5 chapters of that, but I never ended up finishing it because the game never got enough traction for me to be more motivated to continue working on with it. But yeah, that's why if I do remake it again in the future, I'm not going to do it chapter based, I'm just going to do it as one full game, so then, yeah, so then I'm not feeling like, oh, the game's not getting enough traction, so I'm just not going to continue on with it. Because then if I do make a full game and then it doesn't get enough traction, then hey, at least I made the full game, you know what I mean? So yeah, at least I didn't leave it incomplete. But anyways guys, that is the end of this video. If you did enjoy, be sure to like, comment and subscribe for more videos like this. So yeah, what games of mine do you want to see me check out and talk about in a future video? Be sure to let me know down in the comments below what game of mine you would like me to check out next to talk about it, and you know, just give a bit of behind the scenes on it and just, you know, talk about my inspirations and stuff like that. My main inspiration for PPT Chapter 1 was indeed Portal. Portal was the main inspiration for it. You know, if you play through PPT Chapter 1 and you've played through Portal before, you will be able to notice a lot of similarities with the story and stuff like that. And yeah. So overall, thank you all again for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.